Right now at 6 o'clock, bus drivers in 2 Connecticut communities are hitting the picket lines, and they may not be alone soon. We'll tell you what the school districts are doing in the meantime to accommodate parents and students.
Now, the calendar may read September, but the forecast has Connecticut feeling the heat. What state leaders are doing to keep everyone cool from this last-minute summer scorcher.
And at 6:30, we're going to explore how state leaders are investing in students' mental health, how much funding is going in to try to get some positive results out of this school year and beyond.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock on a Tuesday. Good morning, sunshine. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. It is already warm out there, only getting warmer.
Yeah.
Half moon this morning, and it looked like there's a ring around it, Matt Scott. I'm not sure what was with that. I don't know if you want to call it a halo or a moon bow or something, but it's kind of pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. All the little cool things like the idiosyncrasies that make waking up this early in the morning fun. You get to see some cool stuff sometimes. Good morning to you. Here's what you're going to be feeling out there. A little mugginess now, a lot coming. It's a late summer swelter with the heat and humidity providing a lot of discomfort over the next couple of days. We're talking about a correction eventually in the forecast, not seeing it anytime soon. In other words, get used to this. Radar pictures quiet. We're not looking for that to change, so no real relief. You notice the wind barbs are still coming out of the north, a very light wind out of the north this morning, but that's not keeping the temperatures or the dew points down. Upper 60s to the low, almost call it mid 70s in New Haven. Everyone else around 70, including Hartford, Meriden, and Windsor Locks. Here, your dew points are just as high. That's never a good thing. Upper 60s to 71, so already have the tropical feel out there, and it goes the wrong way later on today. Talking about a forecast that has a lot of heat and humidity in it as the kids get off the bus later on, talking about temperatures in the 90s. So if you've got your kids with afternoon practice, football, lacrosse, cross country, make sure they have lots of water. Talk about the relief and when it's coming up right now. I get to say good morning for the first time to Rachel Piscatelli.
Hey, good morning. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Use those ACs in the car. It's going to be a warm one out there. Good morning. Looking at no real incidents out on the roadways this morning, so no major delays for you. We'll take a live look outside over near Jennings Road, where traffic is moving just fine in and out of the capital city, just off of 91, exit 33. And then 84 looking pretty good, too. So Windsor to the 84 interchange, it's 3 minutes. New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel, you're looking at a smooth 5-minute drive. Route 2, no issues. Heading to New Haven now, where I-91 heading towards 995 interchange, or just out by exit 3. Looking good with rather light volume, and again, no incidents to report. And even Fairfield County at this time, not looking too bad out there. Tim and Symphony, back to you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you, Rachel. Well, this morning, Coventry bus drivers already hitting the picket line. They're going on strike to demand higher wages and better benefits.
Now, they're just the latest drivers to walk off the job, but drivers in other districts could join them today, too. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in Coventry with the details. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you both. Those Coventry bus drivers have now set up the picket line. It is officially started here at the bus lot in Coventry. About 24 or so people here with signs. They are officially on strike this morning. Now, this is, they say, just the beginning. They expect quite a few more people to show up already this morning. But I do want to tell you that this is one of 2 strikes that's now been happening in the past couple of days. First came the Meriden drivers' strike on Friday, and that will be happening again today. Those employees over in Meriden are asking for $4 more per hour, along with some other benefits as well. Now today, Coventry drivers who are part of the Teamsters Union are following in those footsteps. Union representatives say these drivers can't afford their retirement plans, don't have health care, and need higher pay in general. I have reached out to the M&J Bus Company for a response towards that strike, but have not yet received a reply. This strike will impact how kids are getting to and from school today. Parents will need to find an alternate mode of transportation for those students. Coventry schools will be open early and will stay open late today in order to accommodate the change in routines. Any student who is not able to make it to school will be excused, and they will be given a chance to make up the missed work. And for those who are opting to walk to school today, extra police patrols will be available to safely help kids make it to those destinations. Now, the bus drivers in Bolton and Stafford are also part of the M&J Bus Company. They could potentially join the Coventry strike. We do not have official word on whether or not they are also walking out yet today, but of course we will keep you updated on that. We did, however, hear from both of those school districts, and they say that they are expecting it to be possible. They do want parents to go ahead and plan to possibly bring their kids to school today as well. Live in Coventry, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Hi, Brooke, thank you for that report. As we mentioned, and as you mentioned, they're not alone. Let's get you a live look now in Meriden, where unionized bus drivers are starting the second day of their strike. They said they want higher wages, health insurance, paid holidays, and 401k contributions from their employer, New Britain Transportation. They said they also want safer working conditions. Now, those drivers are going to be on the picket line there until 9 o'clock this morning. Then they're going to return this afternoon from 2 to 5. So for the latest updates on the school bus strikes and their impacts, you can get the Fox 61 News app. It's always free. You can get it by scanning the QR code on your screen with your smartphone. Well, this morning, more schools across Connecticut are back in session for a new year, but summer's not done with us just yet. Several districts have already announced early dismissals today because of the extreme heat.
Yeah, Governor Lamont has also activated the state's extreme hot weather protocol. We're checking in with Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro, joining us live at a cooling center site in Bloomfield with more this morning. Hey, Angelo.
Symphony, Tim, good morning. And that protocol is in effect today until Thursday. That means cooling centers are opening across the state. One of those sites right here behind me, this is the Bloomfield Social Services building. And schools, as you mentioned, also being affected because of this heat, with several districts announcing early dismissals because of the heat. Some of those include Bosworth Public Schools, Newtown Public Schools, Thomaston Public Schools, and elementary and intermediate schools in Portland. The Connecticut Department of Emergency Services is reminding people out there to take this heat seriously. Drink lots of water, wear loose, light clothing, limit alcohol, and avoid exercising outside in the afternoons when it's the hottest part of the day. And state officials are also reminding parents and families it's too hot outside to leave your pets or your children in the car. And when it comes to your kids, make sure they are staying hydrated as you send them off to school.
Those Gatorades, things that have minerals, putting them back once you've sweated out, those are great to drink. Water is always the best. What's not great is a cold beer or 2 or 3.
And with this state protocol in effect, you can dial 211 to find a cooling center in your town or city. It is that simple. We're live in Bloomfield this morning. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Alrighty, thank you, Angelo. Do your best to stay cool this morning. We'll check back in with you later. All right, we have a Fox 61 follow-up this morning out of Manchester. All lanes of I-84 East are back open this morning after a fuel tanker rolled over and burst into flames.
Yeah, crews worked around the clock to excavate contaminated dirt there at the crash site. State environmental officials even gave Fox 61 a tour of the massive effort to make sure the gasoline that didn't catch fire stayed out of the Hockenham River nearby. Officials decided to let the rest of the gasoline burn off in that fire Sunday night. They said that was just a better solution than trying to douse the flames with water, which could then saturate the soil with gas. Or they said it was still a better option than using firefighting foam, which often contains hazardous chemicals. Some newly released dash cam video shows the moments leading right up to that rollover. You can see it there. Police said the driver of an SUV abruptly changed lanes right in front of the tanker, so close that the tanker hit the back of the SUV before swerving and rolling onto its side.
What I saw was really scary. It was a 30-foot pillar of flame going straight up in the air. We were going in the eastbound lane. They turned the traffic around and they had us drive west in the eastbound lane to get to another exit where we eventually, got through that traffic. But it was a very scary scene.
And despite all that fire, the driver of the tanker truck and the driver and passenger of the SUV all only had minor injuries.
Well, state police are investigating a deadly motorcycle crash on I-84 in Farmington. Checking out some video from the scene here. This crash happened just after 6 last night in the westbound lanes near exit 37. And we are working to get more information about this crash. When we get that, we'll have it on air and online at fox61.com. Well, that incident stands as the second traffic-related death during the Labor Day weekend. As of yesterday morning, state police reported over 4,200 calls for service. Troopers gave tickets to more than 500 drivers. They arrested 23 people for DUI. State police will release updated figures for the whole weekend later on this morning.
Well, authorities in Vernon are going to provide an update today on a huge fire that destroyed a historic textile mill. The building on Brooklyn Street burned down last December. The fire was so intense that most of the building collapsed inward into the basement. Crews then knocked down the rest of the building after dousing some hot spots. Now, police are going to talk about this case at 9 o'clock this morning, and they said they also plan on releasing some pictures and videos to help them determine how the fire started. Well, one of the men charged in connection with a shooting at Union Station is due in court today. That's Union Station in New Haven. 19-year-old Dayron Sanchez pleaded not guilty to first-degree assault and other charges, so his case will go to trial. Police said Sanchez and another person got into a fight with a man on a train platform back on July 5th. They said at some point Sanchez fired a gun and the man had to have emergency surgery at the hospital, but he did survive. Sanchez is being held on a $500,000 bond.